most people who have untrained animals are untrained themselves.
Well, my first time, let's see.
The banana is on its last legs. I don't even want to eat this shit. I'm throwing it away. Okay, so we're off to the gym right now. And in the meantime, I wanted to address what I put in my drink, because some of you are probably wondering, what is this strange powder that you are coating your liquids with? And well, it's not two things. One, it's not protein powder, and two, it's not pre-workout or creatine. It's none of those. It's actually something called Skratch, which is used to just keep you hydrated. You know, extra electrolytes and other chemicals that scientists make up that say, you know, it keeps you hydrated. And I drink it every single time I wake up, even when I'm not going to the gym. It's just good to just keep yourself hydrated throughout the day, because I realized that water is the most important thing in the world. I know it took me 20 years on this earth to finally come to that realization, but when you are not drinking water, when you are severely dehydrated, you notice that your productivity is down, your mood, especially anger, rises, and you're more hungry. Now, I'm not a scientist. In fact, I'm far from it. I don't believe in pushing propaganda. So everything I'm saying here isn't 100% based on fact, but just based on my own personal experience of going days with only drinking 16 ounces of water. And on the other hand, where I'm drinking over 200 ounces of water in a day, I just see a drastic difference in the way that my day goes. Along with that observation, I came to another conclusion in my life. You know, pattern recognitions that I applied to this computer brain of mine. And it's this. I was on a pizza delivery for my parents' restaurant, and I do this quite often. You know, people call in an order for delivery, I grab the food and I take it to their front door. I ring the doorbell versus knock, because knocking is just a barbaric action. But on these deliveries, the second I either ring the doorbell or knock, I instantly hear a dog just barking and scratching at the door. I'd say 40 to 50% of the deliveries I've been on, there has been a dog or some type of creature on all fours that scratches and makes noises at the door. Now, they're probably not doing that in malicious intent. They're just doing it because it's an untrained animal that doesn't know how to respond to basic sounds of everyday life, because their trainer is not training them properly. And I have a very strong theory and pattern to recognize people who do not train their animals properly. Because living in America, everybody loves dogs. I get it and I don't get it, because right now in this time of my life, being 20 years old, I would never want to own a dog. And I'll get to that explanation later. Many people in this country get a dog and get a cat. They either overfeed it, they either underfeed it, they don't teach it manners to be an animal, especially out in public. It is a complete nuisance, and I will give you a prime example. Let's go back to the delivery situation. I knock on people's doors, I hit the doorbell, the dog is scratching at the door consistently. I'm not sure if these people are gonna have to hire a new carpenter or painter to coat the door, because there's definitely indentions from that fucking dog's claw marks. And then you hear the owner of the dog say, "Hey, Poochie, hey, get," and then they fucking kick it in the side of the head. The dog moves back, doing this back and forth. As the owner temporarily pushed the dog back, he tries opening the door so he can receive his food that he paid for. And then the dog comes back. The dog didn't learn its lesson. The dog comes back, peeks its head through the fucking door, and then eventually, you know, the owner just gives up because they're lazy, opens the door, the dog comes out, and it starts jumping on me, right? This is all a true story. This is only one of many instances to where an owner cannot control their dog and it starts jumping on me, okay? Now, I'm usually okay with most people's dogs. Jumping on me, I'm not okay with. It starting to lick me, oh my God, I'm lucky I didn't have a firearm on my side, because I would have put that shit down like a veterinarian. It just comes at me, jumping on my clothes, and then it's using its fucking claws into my pants that I actually kind of like. I'm holding the owner's food, and then the owner, as he's already stepped outside, about to grab the food, realizes that he doesn't have the money on him to pay for the meal. So he goes back inside. As his dog is still there, jumping on my pants, I give it a slight knee. You know, I raise my right leg up probably 30, 40 degrees, just so it can have some type of adversity for the animal so it stops getting on me. And then the owner finally comes back out with the money. Now here's the worst part of it all. Instead of sitting and counting it for himself, he turns to his daughter, who is right behind him. She's probably like in middle school. Perfect age, I'm joking. Instead of counting the money himself, he just hands it to his daughter and says, "Is that all right?" Like she's the fucking accountant, or like she's the banker in Monopoly. "Is this all right?" She says, "Yeah, Dad, that's all right. That's the amount of money." He gives me the money, puts it in my hand. The dog scurries back inside. I exchange the food for the monetary value, and I get in my car with fucking dirt, hair on my pants. I'm like, bro, this is not what I signed up for. Now, granted, I did get a $10 tip, and I'm not even sure if they did that on purpose. They probably just both sucked at counting and just gave me whatever was in their wallet. Now, I know I sound like I'm complaining, but I'm just detailing a pattern that I'm starting to recognize, or that I've already recognized within my past 2 or 3 years of my life, but now I have enough evidence and enough data to solidify my statement. And my statement is this: most people who have untrained animals are untrained themselves. I mean, look at these owners. They're out of shape. They are dirty. They do not live an organized life. They don't have money. They're struggling to get money. But most importantly is the first one: they're out of shape. If you see somebody out in the public, let's say walking a pit bull or just walking a big dog that you know could kill you, and that person walking it is overweight, do not, and I mean do not, tread beside these people on the sidewalk. Cross the street, avoid them. Because in the small off chance or the high chance that this dog just wants to attack you because of the color of your shirt, that owner who is overweight will most likely not be able to tell their dog to get off of you, because they don't train the thing how they should. Now, of course, there's exceptions to the rule. There's people who are morbidly obese who have the most well-trained animals. And there's also people who have 8-packs and muscles popping out of every single section of their body, but yet their dog is just a nuisance to society. But I'm highly confident that a safe bet to determine whether somebody has a trained animal or not is by looking at them first. Because think about it. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you aren't disciplined enough to control the food that goes into your body, if you're not disciplined enough to go and break down your muscles at a gym just so you can see improvement and live a longer, healthier life, if you're not disciplined enough to do those basic things, then how are you disciplined enough to deal with a creature that doesn't even speak the same language as you? Like, you aren't. You simply aren't, okay? That's why I don't trust people who are out of shape or their life is just a complete wreck, and yet they have an animal. I don't trust them. Now, the worst of both worlds is an overweight fat woman. God damn, bro. A woman who owns a dog most likely can't control it in the first place because she's a woman. But a fat woman with a dog? Oh my, you need to avoid these people at all costs. They need to stop this. Hear that? That's the sound of money. Money. Some fucking guy with curls on the side of his head is gonna come and rob me. But back to what I was saying. The moral of the story is, don't get an animal that you have to look after and that you have to properly train in order for it to be a good boy. Don't get an animal, especially like a dog, if you yourself are not trained, if you yourself are not disciplined. Like, the bare minimum requirement that you need in order to get a dog is to at least be in decent to good shape yourself. So it's like, I don't really care too much for dogs and cats or pet culture in this country. I find it kind of overdone. Like, there's people out there that say that they're a dog mom and a dog dad. That is gay to me, because you should just be a dad and a mom to a real human being that is yours, because adopting kids and taking care of it, especially as a man, is crazy. As a woman, it's not as bad, but taking care of another man's kid, oh my God, like, that's not a thing that happens in the wild. There probably are certain animals and certain species that do that, but I know that dolphins, for example, kill the children of any other female dolphin that they want to mate with. I know I'm shifting the topic and going on a tangent, but like, taking care of another man's kids, and it's not like your brothers or it's not like your cousins. No, I'm talking about a completely different man who shares zero blood with you. Taking care of his kids, you are a bitch.